वेदांत स्वामिन् नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धोभ्य एव च वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्। हरे कृष्णा। I would love to be made the co-host because I'll be sharing the screen and sometimes even sharing the board to make some demonstrations. So if you could make me a co-host, I can start with that. So Hare Krishna, all devotees from ISKCON Calgary, Hari Bol. You're all able to hear me? Please say Hari Bol, because I can see you raising both the hands. Okay, I'll not be able to hear you, Hari Bol. Okay, very nice. So I'm able to see all of you sitting on your yoga mats, bhakti yoga mats, not the. So you're sitting on the bhakti yoga mats very nicely and with erect body, hearing so attentively. Very inspiring. Okay, so we have now come to a very, very special section of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Where we are going to discuss the different Leela avatars. Because remember, the Saunakadi Rishis had asked 6 questions. The first question they asked is, what is the supreme welfare for all living entities? Number 2, what is the essence of all scriptures? Summarize it. Number 3, why did Krishna enter the womb of Devaki? Number 4, what are the different Purusha avatars? That means who is sustaining this material creation, maintenance, destruction? Who are they? Fifth question was, who are the Leela avatars? And sixth question is, now that Krishna has left all of us externally and gone, like he's vanished from our physical vision, yes, material vision. So now where is Dharma taking shelter? Where is knowledge? Where is Dharma? Because Krishnos Swadhamopagate Dharma Jnana Adibisaha. So he has taken the knowledge and the religious principles and gone. So where is Dharma now? That is the sixth question. So currently the answer to the fifth question is going on. Yes. And I guess last Saturday you had the sixth verse, 136 was last Saturday. Yeah. So weekly. So I'll ask you a very simple question. Last Saturday, when you had this question 1.3.6, there was a description of the first incarnation. Who is the first incarnation mentioned? Anyone remembers? Somebody who's attended the Bhagavatam class will definitely remember. Somebody who's not attended class will also know it, but they will give a different answer. That also I know. Yes, anybody? No? Okay, no problem. I'll give you the answer. The first incarnation mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 136 is Chatush Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras. My God. So one may say a person who's attending this class for the first time will wonder, Prabhuji, we only know 10 avatars, Dasha avatar. And first is Matsya, second is Kurma, third is Varaha, fourth is Narsimha, fifth is Vamana, sixth is Parshuram, seventh is Ram, eighth is Balram, ninth is Buddha, 10th is Kalki. This is what we hear. Now you have changed something. Bhagavatam, what is this? Are going to be resolved. Yes. How come the first incarnation is 4 Kumars? They are not even on the list. So we're going to study that. So we'll go to the verse 137. Srimad Bhagavatam. I request you all to please repeat after me at your respective places. So this is the shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 137. First canto, third chapter, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. 7th shloka. Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya rasatala gatam mahim Uddharisyan upadatta Yajneshah saukaram vapuhu. Word for word meaning, Dvitiyam, the second. Tu, but. Bhavaya, for the welfare. Asya, of this earth. Rasatala, of the lowest region. Gatam, having gone. Mahim, the earth. Uddharishan, lifting. Upadatta, established. Yajneshah, the proprietor or the supreme enjoyer. Saukaram, hoggish. Vapuhu, incarnation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. It's a small purport, but we're going to have a good class, good discussion. Translation. The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of a boar, the second incarnation, and for the welfare of the earth, he lifted the earth from the nether regions of the universe. Purport. The indication is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function executed is also mentioned. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function. And such functions are always extraordinary. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of the boar was to take the earth out of Pluto's region of filthy matter. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar. And the all-powerful personality of Godhead displayed this wonder to the asuras who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played the part of a boar by the devotees, he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to welcome each and every one of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class, and very grateful to all of you for giving me a chance to be associated with all of you and to serve all of you. And I really wish to see some more videos so devotees can appear. I'll keep reminding. There's a price you have to pay in between my classes. As soon as we keep proceeding ahead, I'll remind. Video. Just like the YouTubers, right? They keep, come on, hit the like button, subscribe, share. So they do that. I'll also keep doing this because I want all devotees to participate. As soon as you turn on the video, your attention levels will improve automatically by 50%. Because you've turned, you'll be cautious. Oh, Prabhuji is watching. And I watch everybody. Yes, all your transcendental activities, I'm watching. All of you. Okay, so coming back to this discussion. So this is the question. We hear the Das Avatar Stotra, and there are 10 incarnations. So we need to understand that it is not that Lord has only 10 incarnations. No. Das Avatar Stotra is a poetry. This is a poetry by Srila Jayadev Goswami, who appeared 600 years before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the land of Navdeep. Yes. And he wrote a very, very famous poetry called Gita Govind. It is so dear to Jagannath that Jagannath does not go to rest without listening to Gita Govind. Just like when we are all children, Jagannath is also our child. So when we are children, what we say? I remember my childhood. I used to always go to my parents and say, story, some story. Without that, I will not sleep. Tell some stories. So we like to listen to some bedtime stories and take rest. So Jagannath also needs his bedtime Gita Govinda, which is written by Jayadev Goswami before he could go to take rest. So one of the poetry in the Gita Govinda, the same author has written the Dasha Avatara Stotra. Yes. So this is a poetry with 10 incarnations. Correct. So Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parshurama, Rama, Balarama, Buddha, and Kalki. And they are all Krishna's incarnations, not Narayana's. Keshavadrita, Veena Sharira, Keshavadrita, Vamana Rupa, Keshavadrita, Haladhara Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare. So they are all Krishna's incarnations, not anybody else's. So it's Keshava. Keshava is Krishna. You know what is the meaning of Keshava? Keshava means one who is the master of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Yeah. Ka is Brahma. Is Vishnu. Isha is Brahma. So Ka, Isha, Va, Keshava. One who is the Lord of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is called Keshav. So that can be Krishna only. Correct? So this Dasavatar Stotra is a poetry. It is not necessarily in chronology. Yes, you may observe that, okay, after you see Narsimadev, then it is having of chronology. But the beginning may not be in chronological fashion. Okay? There is some truth. Because when did Kurma Avatar come? Kurma Avatar came in Samudra Manthan Leela. Yes or no? Yes. But Samudra Manthan Leela, who is the king of demons? Bali. And Bali is the Vaman, Bali. So it is between Narsimdev and Bali. So there are some kind of, he just poetically mentioned it. There is no chronology. On the other hand, Srimad Bhagavatam has a particular chronology. Is there. So now here, why exactly four Kumaras is the first incarnation? There is a reason. So Brahmaji, he spent 1,000 Divya Yugas to actually meditate on the Lord. Brahma was born from top of a lotus. He wanted to find out, where am I? Who am I? So he tried to trace out the root cause of this lotus. He thought that if I trace out the root cause of this lotus, I will get to know who am I. So he started. And he came near Garbhodakshai Vishnu, from whose navel is emanating this lotus. So he came very nicely. Correct? And then what happened is, now I'll be starting my drawing session. This drawing session, this one diagram, we are going to explain two concepts today. So I request you all to pay good attention. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu lies down here in the bottom, the southern part of the universe. And from whose navel comes, last time we discussed, I remember, from whose navel comes the lotus. And from here comes Brahma, he's born. So Brahma, he understood that from everywhere there was heavy winds blowing. There was very, very hot fires which were there. And the water was also coming. All water, air, fire. All three of these elements were extreme conditions they had created in the universe. And that time Brahmaji really wanted to find out, who is he? What am I supposed to do? So that time he travels. Brahmaji, who sits here, the four-headed Brahma. Our universe is the smallest universe. And our Brahma is the smallest Brahma. So he came down all the way. I'll take a light spotlight. So all the way down he came. He came down. He came to the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, but still he was not able to. He was seeing the Lord, but he was not able to see the Lord because it was completely dark and the Lord was observing him. So he went back. He went back in great distress and he sat down. When he sat down here, he was told two letters, ta, pa, two times, ta, pa. So he followed this instruction very seriously. And then he performed tapasya for about 1,000 celestial years. After that, as a fruit of his tapasya was fulfilled, Gopal Tapadi Upanishad says that Krishna personally came in a two-handed form as a cowherd boy and went and shook hands with Brahma, congratulating him. Congrats, very good. And then he empowered Brahma. I'm skipping the story. It's a beautiful section. We're going to read ahead in the third canto. I'm going really fast. So then what happens is Brahmaji now wants to start creating. So first thing, as soon as he wants to start creating, he is now empowered by the Lord. The first thing that gets created is 5 Ajnana Vrittis. Sasajagri Andatamishram, Atatamishram Adiprit, Mahamoham cha Moham cha Tamascha Ajnana Vrittayah. So this Ajnana Vrittis get created. He wanted to create something. He had got Jnana, but he created Ajnan. He was very morose, but he did not give up. He again meditated, performed his sadhana very nicely. And this time, again, remembering the lotus feet of Lord, he started creation. But as he was started creation, what happened? Then came the 4 Kumaras. So that is the first incarnation. That's why they mentioned as first. After the Ajnana Vrittis, immediately came 4 Kumaras. And when the 4 Kumaras came, Brahmaji was very happy. He said, I only asked for 1. I got 4. Hari bol. And these 4 Kumaras are, you would have heard in the last class, that they represent one aspect of Supreme Lord. Yes. The first Kumara represents Jnana, knowledge. I'm putting it in the chat. The second Kumara, he represents, okay, I'll put it in the chart. It'll be easy for some of you to just carry away the chart to your home. It'll be take home for you. So I'll put everything in the chart. So first Kumara represents Jnana, second Vairagya, third Yoga, and the fourth Tapa, Tapasya. So this is the representation of the four Kumaras. So that's the first incarnation which you discussed in last class. Then how we come to the second incarnation as Varahadev? To explain that only I am telling all these things. And all of these four incarnations, as soon as the four people, so they are counted as one only. Although they are four in number, they are always counted as one. They are not counted as two. Can you just give me one moment? I'll shut the door. There's disturbance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. I'm back. So the Brahma said to the four Kumaras, so start creating. And the four Kumaras said, sorry, sir. My dear father, we are Vasudeva Parayan. We want to do only sadhana. So we want to join the Brahmacharya ashram. Brahma was very, very angry. My children not obeying my instruction, my plan getting frustrated. So out of that anger, from the eyebrows of Brahma came a boy who started crying. Yes, his name was Rudra. And Rudra has one more very wonderful. He's also called as Lohita. That's another, because he was made of blue, black, and red color. That was his complexion. So he came. So Brahmaji, he was crying. So Brahmaji gave him 11 places. He gave him 11 wives. So he stopped crying after that. So 11 places he took over. And then Brahmaji told him to create. Start creation. So he started creating, but he started destroying. He started emitting fire from their eyes and destroying everything. And Brahma said, I told you to create. You have destroyed everything. Now you please go and just do your tapasya. Boy, you're not fit for creation. I'll call you for destruction. So then Rudra goes away. So Rudra is also gone. Kindly mention the names of the four Kumaras. Okay, definitely. Why not? So the main names of the four Kumaras are Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. Okay, so these are the names of the four Kumaras. All right. So then Rudra is gone now. Now what should Brahma do? So he was thinking like this. Yes. And then he started creating Manasa Putras. That is the next stage. He created the Manas Putras. That means from his own body limbs, he started creating everybody. So this was the next. After this was over, he got a little more dejected. I should be doing everything. Only me. Rudras are 11 Rudras. One of the Rudras is Shankar, who is there in Kailash with his wife Uma. I should be doing everything. Sab kuch mujhe hi karna hai. I'm not happy. What is this? So when he was deliberating, like he was praying to Lord, please send some help. That time, for the first time, there was the first human being who was born, and his name was Manu. And because Brahma is called Swayambhu, what is he called? He is called Swayambhu, which one who appeared without a mother. It's called Swayambhu. So Manu became Swayambhuva Manu. And he appeared along with his wife, Shatarupa. They're a couple, one male, one female. Yes. And this is the first human being, Manu. From Manu comes Manushyas. So now Brahmaji was very happy. And Brahmaji is very happy here. Hare Krishna. Finally, now I don't have to do anything. They both will carry on the creation. So he tells Manu that, my dear Manu, please go and take the earth as your kingdom and start ruling it. So he tells that. And Manu says, Father, which earth are you talking about? Please see down. And as soon as Brahma looks down, he sees that the earth is submerged into water. Got the point? So now what happened exactly, I'll tell you. So this stem of this lotus is the universe. And this is Brahma's planet is called Satyalok. Below that is called as Tapalok, Janalok, Maharlok. Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok. Like that, 4. Here is the Swargalok. Here, this place is Shvetadvip. That is not in Brahma's creation. That's beyond Brahma's creation. Brahma never created Shvetadvip. The Lord exists here. 1 lakh square miles island, whitish island. Here Kshirodaksha Vishnu lives. Okay, this is called Shvetadvip. Below that is Swargalok, where is moon planet. Moon planet, Indralok, Chandralok, Varunlok, they're all there. Then here comes the Bhuarlok. Bhuarlok is the planet of Sun and Yakshas. Sun is then Bhuarlok region. And then when exactly where the universe is divided into half. So this is the place where universe is actually divided into half, because Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes and he perspires in the universe. With his own perspiration, he fills this universe. And floating on top of the water is the Bhuloka. Yes, what is it? Bhuloka. So this Bhuloka looks something like this. I'll draw the Bhuloka. Yes. I'm just drawing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Bhuloka looks like this. This is like a plate. It's like a plate. Okay. Like this. Like this. Like a plate. Tapered plate. And within Bhuloka only there are Atala, Talatala, Sutala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patal, the 6 lower planets and the hellish planets, the 28 types of hell. All are within here, within the region. Correct? So that is also understood, Bhuloka. So now if you observe one thing, dear devotees, there is a gap. There's a gap, clearance gap between Bhuloka and the shell of the universe. There's a gap. This gap is about, if I'm not wrong, this, our universal shell is 4 billion miles. And this gap is about, say, 400 yojanas, something close to that. So about almost 5,000, in my opinion, 5,000, little bit, 5, it's in the 5 digits, around 5,000 miles is this gap over here and here. So there's a clearance. And because there's a clearance here, what had happened was this Bhumi went down and got stuck here. Yeah, this portion, the Bhuloka got stuck here. So this is the region of Rasatal actually, plutonic region. It fell down, it lost balance and fell down. Yes. So now this earth had to be lifted and brought here. So who will do this job? It's a very heavy task. And that time the Devatas team, nothing is ready. See, if you want to do some Rath Yatra, correct? You want to do some very nice Rath Yatra or something. What first thing? Okay, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, ready, cart ready. Can you do Rath Yatra? What is important? You need team of devotees who will do management, who will take care of prasadam, take care of deities, take care of transportation, take care of advertisement, publicity, funds, so many things. So we need team of devotees, right? So Brahma did not, he couldn't even call, hey Indra, Chandra, please come for help. Nobody there. Otherwise, all of them, 33 Koti Devatas, they would have come, they would put some rope and jor laga ke, hai isha, that's what we say in Hindi. Come on, apply force and lift. They would have done something, but no team available. And no, Brahma was literally in tears. What to do? I don't know. Manu is showing earth is fallen down. What to do? And that is when, from the nostril of Brahma, appeared a personality who was thumb size. Initially, he was very small. He appeared and came thumb size, and he went up and grew to the size of an elephant. He was whitish and bluish in color. His color was whitish and bluish, and he was a person who had a form of a boar who's called Varaha. So this person is called as Neela Varaha or Shweta Varaha, is bluish, whitish. So this personality went and he jumped. Yes, he jumped down from here. He appeared here. He jumped into the ocean, splashed the water. And what did he do? He lifted the earth. So from this position, from the lower nether regions, he lifted the earth and he brought the earth to its position where Manu could sit and now start his kingdom. So after that, when the Bhuloka was lifted up, then Manu occupied a place in Jambudweep, the central island. There are 7 islands. The central island is called Jambudweep. In Jambudweep also the southern part, Varsha, is called Bharatvarsh. In Bharatvarsh also has 9 parts. The 9th part is called Bharatkhand, which today the scientists call as Earth. That's called Bharatkhand. So in the Bharatkhand also, there are 5 major islands, right? 7 continents we call it. Yes, North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, we say that. So in the Asian island, That time it's called Brahmavarta or Aryavart, below the Himalayas, above the Vindhyachal, in a place called Kanpur. And if you know this place called Kanpur in India, is there physically Uttar Pradesh. This is the place where he set up his capital and started ruling. So what is the contribution of Varahadev? You can just tell me. You can just know from this that Varaha is a personality who made it possible for mankind to exist. Correct? Without him, mankind wouldn't exist. So he is the boar incarnation. So if you see the shloka, Dvitiyam tu, please understand, Dvitiyam, the second incarnation, Bhavayasya. Bhavayasya means for the welfare. Of whom? Mahim. Mahim is the earth. Earth is called Mahi. That is why the king is called Mahipal. He's called Mahipal. That means one who takes care of the earth, Mahipal. So Mahi, Rasatalagatam. So this Mahi, this earth, who had gone Rasatalagatam, it fallen down to nether regions, to the hellish region. It had fallen down. What he had done? Uddharishyan. He lifted it up. And Upadatta, he placed it properly. Correct? Properly. So this is the greatest contribution of the Shweta Varaha. Now you may say, Prabhuji, what about the fight? There was some fight with one demon. Anyone remembers? Varaha, they fought with one demon also. Yaad hai ki nahi? You remember? So this Varahadev has appeared in Swayambhuva Manvantra. That demon who fought with Hiranyaksha, the brother of Hiranyakashipu, younger brother of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, is different. He is called Rakta Varaha. He is reddish in color. He is different. That Varaha is different. This Varaha is different. You know, don't mix both. So that Varahadev appeared in Chakshusha Manvantra just before this. Right now we are in Manvantra called Swayambhuva Manvantra. Correct? Swayambhuva Manvantra. So each Manu takes 71 Divya Yuga cycles to rule. So first Manvantra is Swayambhuva, sixth is Chakshusha, currently is called Vayuvaswata, the seventh. So before this Manvantra, the Rakta Varaha appeared. And Hiranyaksha also had done a similar thing. Now you ask, why Varahadev had to appear as Varaha again? Because Hiranyaksha, what he did, Hiranya. Can you imagine? Our entire Bhu-loka was a golden planet. It was fully gold. Fully gold. It was not muddy. It was not green. It was golden in color, made of full gold. So what had happened? Hiranyaksha, he came and stole all the gold, except in some places like Meru Parvat. Meru is still golden in color. Meru is still golden in color. There's a beautiful pastime of how Lanka was formed. So Lanka was also formed from Meru only. Jamwant was a person, he was one day dancing very nicely because he got to circumambulate the lotus feet of Vamanadev. So Jamwant circled the lotus feet of Vamanadev and he was dancing in ecstasy. Yeah, I've done it. And he went and hit the Meru Parvat. And some pieces of Meru fell. It came and fell into the ocean, Lavana Sagar. That became Lanka. Yes. So that was that was a golden, Lanka is also a golden spot, but the original source came from Meru. So except Meru, everywhere gold was taken away by Hiranyaksha. So these 6 demons who come, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Dantavakra, and Shishupal. All 6 of them exhibit one type of anartha. Hiranyakashipu represents anger. If you see, no, Hiranyakashipu represents pride. Ravana represents lust. Kumbhakarna represents illusion because he always used to sleep too. Shishupal represents envy for Krishna, envy. And Dantavakra represents anger, extremely angry fellow. So what does Hiranyaksha represent? He represents greed, the anartha of greed. So he was so greedy, he took away all the gold from the earth. As a result, the earth lost imbalance once again and fell into the Rasatal region. So that time Rakta Varaha had come, he jumped, he lifted the earth, and then he also fought with whom? He fought with Hiranyaksha and defeated Hiranyaksha. So that is the time Rakta Varaha and Bhu Devi got married. They got married. That's why he is called. Then Varahadev, this Varahadev came to be known as Bhupati. Bhupati. Bhupati is king also, but actually Bhupati means the Pati of Bhudevi. Is actually Varahadev. And they both also had a son called Bhauma, one who has come from Bhumi, Bhauma. But because Bhauma associated with Banasur, Dhenukasur, he got initiated into the Asur Sampradaya. Asuras also have Diksha ceremony. Devotees have initiation ceremony. Guru gives a new name. My previous former name was Siddharth, and I became Sanatan Dharmadas. His grace Amrita Hari Prabhu was Anubhav Prabhu before. I know him. So Anubhav Prabhu became Amrita Hari Prabhu. So we have His grace Purushottam Charan Prabhu, right? Correct? Yeah, he's a Purushottam Charan Prabhu. He's also got. So his name was changed. So we all get the title Das, Das, Das. Sasuras, what they get, their name also gets changed, and they get the title Asura. So Bhauma became Naraka Asura. So this was the son. And later on, Krishna and Satyabhama, who is again Varaha and Bhumi only, they together kill. Together with Krishna, with the inspiration of Satyabhama, kills Narakasura. And thus Krishna gets to marry 16,100 girls also. So it was Varahadev who married Bhumi. So same Rakta Varaha. So I have described both Shweta Varaha and Rakta Varaha. Now coming to the last line. Now this is a very interesting topic. So we normally see, how many of you seen pigs and hogs in this earth planet? Yeah. Nobody falls in love with any hogs or pigs. I guess in Canada and US, the pigs may be pinkish in color, whitish in color. But in India, you only find two categories, black and pitch black. And they come out from the sewage. Their entire body, it's smelling so horrible. And the sight of that is also very irritating. Of course, Krishna is so mercifully, and he becomes Paramatma in their heart also. But the point is that this Varaha is different. This Varaha is called as Yagneshaha Saukaram Vapuhu. So this line is what we are going to spend our next 20 minutes to discuss. We are going to spend this because this is the crux of the class. So Saukaram Vapu. Vapu means body. Saukaram is of that of a hog. But what is this Yagnesha? How exactly this personality is called Yagnesha? For this, there is a vivid description in Bhagavatam, which I am going to tell, because Yagnya, our Varahadev's body, is fully and completely made out of the different elements of Yagnya, sacrifice. Correct? Sacrifice. And where is Varahadev today? I'm going to tell you. He's there today with all of us on this earth only. He didn't go back. He stays with his wife. No? He will not leave Bhumi. I'll tell you where he is. So, spoiler alert. Right? I'm going to tell you. So there's a beautiful shloka which describes the different bodily limbs of Varahadev. Rupam tavaitam nanu dushkritatmana durdarshanam deva yadada vritatmakam chandamsi yasya tvachim arhi romasho ajayam drishitu angharishu chaturhotram. So this starts. There are three shlokas which beautifully describe what is there in the body of Varahadev. Number one, please understand, demoniac people cannot understand Varaha. And this prayer is done by sages who are there in the top lokas, Maharlok, Satyalok, Janalok, Tapalok, who are very realized souls. They teach us in the Bhagavatam how exactly is the bodily constitutions of Varahadev's body. Number one. So there are so many Vedic mantras and hymns. Out of that, chief most mantra is called Gayatri mantra. So along with all the mantras headed by Gayatri, they are all residing in the skin of Varahadev. So the entire skin of Varahadev is not made of, our skin is made of what? Pancha Mahabhuta, Bhumira, Ponalo, Vayu, Earth, right? Sure, test it, or it's Sachidananda. Please tell me. That way I get to know who are the demigods sitting here, who are the spiritual Golokvasis sitting here, right? So this is made of skin, earth. But our Varahadev's body is not made of this Pancha Mahabhuta. No, he is not Panchabhautika. The Vedic hymns, the Gayatri mantra, they are all, so his body is fully made of mantras. And Yajna, what is the most important aspect? Chanting of mantras. Chanting of mantra is the most important aspect, right? So that is the entire bodily skin. So if you see, skin covers the entire body, right? So similarly, mantra covers the entire. Vedas, something, see, Ahuti, what different items get, we feed in the Yajna Kunda. But one thing is constant always. What is that? Mantra. Mantra chanting keeps going on. That is never changed. So that is the skin. Then hairs. So Shukara has hairs. So what are the hairs of our Varahadev? The hairs of our Varahadev are the Kushagras. Kushagras. So when Varahadev came, now how many of you go for swimming or you take shower after that? We do like this, right? We try to splash the water like that. So Varahadev also did that. He did like this, and when he did like that, some portion of hair fell in all places, and thus there was a birth of Kushagras. Yes, for us, hair fall is problem, but for the Lord, hair fall is also such a blessing for everybody. So Lord's hair is falling, but from that Kushagras is coming, and Kushagra is a very, very important symbol of yajna. Even for yoga, somebody wants to do yoga, somebody wants to do tapasya, somebody wants to do any kind of yajna, or even Archana Vidhi. In our temples also, Archana Vidhi also, the mat we make is of Kusha grass. So that grass came from where? Where was the grass born? From Varahadev. From his body, Kusha grass was born, because the hairs fell. So Lord's hair fall is also amazing. Then what are Lord's eyes? Lord's eyes. What is Lord's eyes? Lord's eyes is the ghee, clarified butter, which is all put in the fire. That is his eyes. So lotus eyes are butter. We can visualize this. The butter comes from, the ghee comes from Lord's eyes. And then because he's Shukara Rupa, he's having 4 legs. He's not 2 legs, 4 legs. So 4 legs are what? 4 legs are Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. These 4 Purusharthas are the 4 legs of Varahadev. So you got some idea how is Varahadev's body made of? Yeah. So his body is transcendental form. It is not made of ordinary thing like substance like all of ours. Next, continuing. There are 2 more slokas which give beautiful description of Varadev's body. Next. Srittunda asi chruva isha nasayor ido dare chamasa karnarandre rashitramase grasane grahastute yachanvatam te bhagavan agnihotram. Excuse me. Now you will find that there are 4 chief brahmanas who perform any yajna. The first brahmana is called as Adhavaryu. Now this Adhavaryu brahmana, what he does, he first ignites the fire by reciting the first mantra. So just by mantra he ignites fire. We don't take matchbox, lighter, stones, nothing, mantra. So that person is called as Adhavaryu. The second brahmana is called as Udgata. So Udgata is a person who keeps reciting the mantras. Then there is Hota. Hota is the third brahmana who keeps offering oblations, or all the oblations into the fire. And the fourth brahmana is called Brahma, who is the leader of the yajna. Right? So like these 4 brahmanas are there. So now basis on that, there are different 4 plates mentioned, plates of sacrifice. So first plate of sacrifice is on the tongue. The second place of sacrifice, plate of sacrifice is on the nostrils. The fourth place of plates of sacrifice in the ear holes, and the third ear holes, fourth is throat. So these are the 4 places where these 4 plates are available: tongue, nostrils, ears, and throat. So that is a plate of the sacrifice. From there only the 4 brahmanas are sitting and operating. So that is mentioned. Then what is Lord's belly? Lord's belly is the eating. Any sacrifice should always be followed with prasad. In fact, any yajna that you do, prasad should be there. So that's why even in Sankirtan yajna, now also we are doing yajna. What yajna we are doing? Swadhyaya yajna. This is our yajna kund. And the Bhagavatam that I'm trying to humbly represent is something that's ahuti into this yajna kunda. It's going inside. And thus we are performing yajna. So after this, there is prasad. Prabhu, Purushottam Charan Prabhu. Prasad is there for everyone. Yes, Prabhu. Any meeting without eating is cheating, Prabhuji. We nicely give prasad. Very good. That's very nice. That's what keeps the devotee spirited. Very nice. So the belly of the Lord is the eating place. Correct? And the Lord also chews. And the chewing of the Lord, of course, without chewing, how will the food go to the belly? So the teeth portion, the chewing is called as Agnihotra. Now this Agnihotra is one of the greatest fire sacrifices. We'll discuss more about this. Next. So this is the body of Varahadev. You can imagine what a transcendental body he has. Dikshanuna janmo pashadashirodharam tvam prayaniyo dananina damstaha jiva pravargyastava shirsha kam krato satyavadastyam chitayo shavohite. Okay. So what does appearance of Varahadev indicate? The appearance of Varahadev indicates the initiation. So initiation are of three types. The three types of initiation are mentioned. The Harinama, the Gayatri, and the Savitri. Yes, for ISKCON Prabhupada, what is actually Diksha, Divyam Jnanam Yatodaya Kurvam Papasya Sankshyam is one in it. But it's divided also in Shastras. So Harinama, you get the holy name and you get the new name. That's first aspect. Second is Urdhva Pundra. You get the Tilak from the Guru, Urdhva Pundra. Third is the Chinna, the Sankha Chakra. That the Sri Vaishnavas do. Prabhupada did not do that because our Gati is not Vaikuntha Gati, we want to go to Golok. So there is no Chinna, Sankha Chakra. The fourth is the Archana Vidhi and the fifth is the Yajna Vidhi. So these are the five aspects of Diksha. So all these Dikshas appear by the appearance of Varahadev. So when Varahadev appeared, the system of initiation came into place. So you can imagine what an important incarnation is Varahadev. We all did not know this only. We thought, okay, he came in the form of pig, lifted the earth, kept it for some time. How long should I hold? He thought for some time and he went away. No, see how much contribution is there. Neck. The neck of Varahadev contains a SAP program. How many of you are software professionals? You know this SAP? What is SAP? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. SAP. Software Application Program. Okay. Software Application Program, SAP. It's training. Kiran Atiji is saying it's training. It's training, Prabhuji, training. Okay. So similarly, in Vedas also we have SAP. That SAP is called Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. So these three things lie in the throat. The SAP. SAP training lies in the throat of Varahadev. Neck, not the throat. Throat is the plate. The neck portion. Now, if you see, because Varahadev is in the form of boar, he has a different kind of neck. Throat is different, neck is different. So the neck is neck is actually the three types of Sambandha Abhijayan Prayojan. Okay. What is the tusks? The tusk, what it represents? The tusk represents the end of all material desires and the beginning of all spiritual desires. That's when tusk. Through tusk, Varahadev can pierce our material desires and ensure that we all start having only spiritual desires. So those are having so much problem. We have so many material desires in our heart, Prabhu. Just meditate on the tusks of Varahadev. Varahamurti can end your material desires and start your spiritual desires. So this is the now what about the head portion? The head is the fire. Without fire, there is no sacrifice. The fiery portion is the head, which is the beginning. The yajna starts with the fire. So that is the beginning. And ultimately, his consciousness, his pranavayu. Now, this was external. The prana, there are 5 types of airs, life airs in our body. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. One life air is to bring things up, to take upward movement in the body. The second is for downward movement, apana. Prana, apana. Then there is samana, that is to balance both. Upward, downward movement. To balance that, there is samana. Then there is vyana, which refers to tick, 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 contract and contraction. And udana, the rotation. The rotation. Udana, it is not udan, udana. Rotation movements. So all for this, you need 5 types of airs in our body. So this pranavayu of Varahadev is what? It is all the desires. All the desires of Varahadev. Next. Varahadev's semen is a Soma Yajna. So if you see, the semen of the Lord is also a Yajna. Correct? And he grew up in size, right? He grew up from small. He initially was thumb size. Later on went into this. First he was from the nostrils he came out. Nostrils he was very small. Then immediately when Brahma saw first time, he was in the size of a thumb. Second time he saw in the sky, he grew up to the size of elephant. So what is that growth? That growth is the morning program. Yeah, the morning program. Of course, for them it's written morning rituals, but for all of us, morning programs, the morning program, ritual growth will happen. Then, if you see, the touch sensation of the Lord is the Agnishtoma sacrifice. Now, Agnishtoma sacrifice contains many rituals. Agnishtoma, Atyagnishtoma, Ukta, Shodashi, Vajpeya, Atirata, Apyatoryama. These are all the different sacrifices. For example, Daksha did Vajpeya Yajna. We know that. So like this, different types of yajnas. All yajnas have come from nowhere, but actually Varahadev. Yes, this is Varahadev. So we understand from this that what kind of personality is our Varahadev. His body is completely made of all yagnas. He is not like the ordinary pig or the hog that we see in this material existence. So now one may ask a question, where is Varahadev now? Any guesses? I would like to give you a chance to guess. Then I'll tell you the answer. Very interesting. Guess karo. Kahan mil sakte? Want to meet him? We have become fan of Varahadev. He has done so much for us. We really want to meet him. And let me tell you one hint. You all have definitely gone there. Some time or the other in your life, you would have gone. We really missed it. We really missed it. Where did we go? Kashi. Now, 2 more guesses, then I'll tell you the answer. Let them try. Let these devotees from ISKCON Calgary try. We'll give them a chance. Very famous place. One more hint. Very, very famous. And everybody, at least in India, not only India, people from abroad also want to go there. Of course, it's in India. Fine. I'll give it. Today's modern India. Mayapur, no. Vrindavan, no. So 3 chances got. No, 1 chance with ISKCON Calgary devotees. Purushottam Charan Prabhu and your team, please.
They're saying Varanasi or Jagannath Puri.
No, I knew you will all tell that. Okay. Nice guesses. The closest somebody came to answering is Shekhar Prabhu. He says Srirangam, it's not Srirangam, it's Tirupati. The Tirupati is called Varaha Kshetra at Tirumala. So that area is called the Anantagiri. Anantagiri, actually there's a competition between Vayu and Ananta. It's a long story. So Vayu knocks off one portion of Ananta's head. That comes and falls. That's why it's called Anantagiri. But the Anantagiri falls on where? It falls in the Varaha Kshetra. So when Srinivas comes to establish his temple here, yes, Srinivas wanted money for his marriage. So he asked Kuber. Kuber says, I can give you money, but when will I get it back? Your grandson. He says, don't worry. In the entire Kali Yuga, all my devotees will come and pay back your debt. Everything, they'll give it back. So he establishes a temple there for himself. Still the collection is happening. So before he established temple there, he goes and talks to Varahadev. Says, excuse me, sir. Varahadev says, yes, tell me. Says, can I stay here? He said, no, absolutely not. This is my Kshetra. How can you come here? He says, please, please. Said, then what? At what cost? What will you give me? So Srinivas says that who are actually my true devotees, they will first come to you, they'll offer respects to you, and then only they will come to me. Is it okay? Varahadev says, okay. So that's a Varaha Kshetra where he stays eternally. That's the place where Varahadev is there. So I'll just sum up today's class of what we discussed. We discussed about the fact that 10 incarnations which are mentioned by Jayadev Goswami is a poetry. They may not be in chronology. Just like Kurma actually comes in Samudra Manthan level, Bali is there. He comes exactly before Varahadev. And also Dasavatar Stotra is not all in all avatars. There are so many who are not. Dhanvantri is not mentioned. Mohini Murti is not mentioned. Hamsa Avatar is not mentioned. Many are not there. So the avatar hi asankhya hai. Actually, they are unlimited avatars. Then who came first? First is Chatush Kumaras. We discussed about the entire story of how Kumaras came first. What are their names? What do they represent? And then the second incarnation is thus Varahadev. And still, let me tell you one more thing. Don't get shocked. Even these, there are 22 incarnations going to be mentioned here in the 3rd chapter. They are not chronological. No, they are not chronological. That's how the second incarnation came. I wanted to give you that source. That's why he's mentioned as second. Okay. And why did he come? He came for the welfare of all mankind. Without him, mankind wouldn't have survived. Manu wouldn't have got a place to rule. And thus, Manu is the origin of mankind, right? He's the father of mankind. There wouldn't be any existence. Correct? So that's why we are ever grateful to our Varahadev. And then Earth went to Rasatal, how he picks up both the times, 2 times. One as Shvetadara Varaha, second time with the fighting scene also, as Rakta Varaha. The Shvetavaraha pastime is mentioned in the 3rd canto, 13th chapter. And if you see the Raktavaraha pastime is mentioned after mentioning Diti. Because for that, Diti and Kashyap pastime. So that is in 17, 18, 19, 20. These 4 chapters, there's a beautiful fight scenes and all is there. Very nicely. So that is mentioned, Raktavaraha. Then major part of our class, we spend time to discuss the body of Varahadev. So how many benefits we are deriving? We are getting the entire Yajna Vidhi from Varahadev's body. We saw the different limbs, the eyes, the tusks, the nose, the 4 plates, everything we saw from where the sap portion fire comes, everything we saw very clearly. How the body of Varahadev is fully made of yagnas. So I'd like to pause here and give some time for question and answers.
Hey Krishna Prabhuji, one quick question, Prabhu. The Manas Putra that you mentioned is Narad Muni?
Narad not, there are Mrichi. Mrichi comes as one Manas Putra, Daksha comes, and Narad Muni also, Narad Muni comes by deliberation later on. He comes from his heart, deliberation. So that's why he is next. If you see in the flow, Tritiyam Rishi Sargam Devarshitam. He's next. He comes after this. He comes by deliberation, but others are there. There is Daksha, who comes from the thumb. Twashta, Mrichi comes, Mrichi Muni, Pulaha, Pulacha, they all other Manas Putras, they all come. Pulacha is this Manvantara. Previous Manvantara, there are some rishis who come. There's like 6 Manas Putras who are mentioned. The Narad Muni doesn't come yet. Is there any mantras for Varaha? Yes, you can refer to Dasavatar Stotra. There you will get a mantra. And also 3rd canto, you can refer to chapter number 13, the 13th chapter, Shvetavaraha. There all the rishis, they recite the mantra. I recited 3 of them. There are many more mantras. So you can refer to those mantras. Where is Varaha now? Is he still holding the earth up? Miss this. Okay, this is not streamed on YouTube. No problem. Varaha is actually there right now in Varaka Kshetra, Tirumala. That Kshetra. Tirumala is actually Varaha Kshetra. Our Srinivas is paying tax. He actually, none of it belongs to him. He was a vagabond in one sense. Aimlessly roaming. He married a princess. This is Kali Yuga. He entered marriage. He was a vagabond, no work to do, nothing. He used to just loiter around. So land didn't belong to him. Temple doesn't belong to him. His home doesn't belong to him. Nothing belongs to him. His clothes, everything is on rent. That is our Supreme Lord, Krishna. There in the Tirumala Kshetra. That is Varaha Kshetra. In each Manvantara, the earth is in ocean. That happens when? I'll tell you. After every Manvantara, the Pralaya comes. That time the waters come up. The water comes up till Maharlok. The water comes till this portion. Got it now? Earth doesn't go down. The water comes up after every Manvantara. Got it? No? Pralaya waters come. That is when our Chakshush Manvantara, how it ends, is Chakshush Manvantara. That time Satyavrat Maharaj is the last king, last Kshatriya king. So Matsya Avatar comes to save him because he becomes the next Manu, Vaivasvat Manu. He's the next Manu. That's why he comes to save him. You are needed for the next management. Please come and assist. So that time what had happened? So the water comes up. Earth doesn't go down. Got it? No? There's a difference. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else from ISKCON Calgary has any question? Even out of syllabus would do. I will not mind asking something out of the class topic.
Prabhuji, just one clarification. So there is
yes.
three times dissolution happening. Like one is after the one day of Brahma, and then another after every Manu, and then after the 14 Manu cycle is over. Then, so how does these dissolution differ, Prabhuji? Is there any difference?
Yeah, there is a reference in 12th canto. The 12th canto is called difference. Yes, there is it.
Okay.
There is. So 12th canto, there is a Pralaya mentioned. That is in Nirodha. That section is mentioned in 12th canto. 4 kinds of Pralaya are mentioned. The first Pralaya is called as Nitya Pralaya. That means there is constant destruction. Right now also our bodies are getting destroyed. The world, everything is getting destroyed and created again. That's called Nitya Pralaya. The next Pralaya is called Naimittika Pralaya. Naimittika Pralaya is a Pralaya which happens after every day of Brahma. So Sridhar Swami and Jiv Goswami, they both tell that this under this categorization of Naimittika Pralaya, this happens after every Manvantara also. After every Manvantara also, Naimittika, that is also categorized as Naimittika Pralaya only. Because what is Naimittika Pralaya? Temporarily, there's a pause in the management. There's a break. That is Naimittika Pralaya. Then there is Prakrita Pralaya. Prakrita Pralaya is the time which happens after the end of Brahma's life. That time the whole universe is dissolved. And finally is Atyantika Pralaya. Atyantika Pralaya is when the false ego is dissolved and the jiva goes back to God. That's called Atyantika Pralaya. So what Pralaya you refer to, both are Naimittika categories only. But as per Acharya's commentary very clearly, after every manvantara there is a Pralaya. It comes.
So we have one question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question is that, like, you mentioned some of the virtues for the god, right? Like Gyan and Brahmacharya. You also mentioned some of the bad qualities of the demons, like anger. So is there any hierarchy for these? Like, is one virtue better than the other, something like that, or is there nothing like
Okay. Good. So yes, there are virtues who appear systematically. I'll give you a reference. I am not going to explain the whole thing. I give you a reference of Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. You can start reading the 13th chapter, 8th sloka onwards. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Amanitvam, adammitvam, ahimsa, shanti marjanam, acharya upasanam, saucham, sairam, matmam, nigraha. There are 20 virtues mentioned. And these 20 virtues, Prabhupada's purport clearly says, appear systematically. So the systematic, how the virtues grow, person becomes a virtuous being, a knowledgeable being, that's presented in that. It's called the process of knowledge, jnana. So you can refer to that section for understanding this. And when it comes to the vices, the first vice because of which we are here is envy. Envy is the first. Yes, envy is the first vice, because of which we are coming to this material existence. But when we come to this material existence, we have lust. I'll show you the chart. I'll show you one more. Can you mute from your end? Because I'm able to hear my own echoes.
Yeah,
So if you
can
see lust, when lust is satisfied, it becomes greed. When greed is satisfied, it becomes pride. And later on, when you're too proud, you also develop envy. This is a circle. Similarly, when lust is not satisfied, it becomes anger. When anger is not satisfied, it becomes, when anger is also further not satisfied, it becomes illusion. If you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So thus is the source in this material world. But originally we have come to this material world from spiritual world because Ichha Dvesha Samuttena Dvanda Mohena Bharata. So here lust appears to be the root, but actually the root of our material existence is a reverse, envy. Because of envy we have come to this material world. And then from envy comes all other anarthas. It's the reverse. So envy is the first to come, last to go. But in this world, lust is something that gives rise to other. So there is a little bit of, if you see from existential point of view, envy comes first. But if you see occurrence point of view, how it's manifested in a conditioned soul, lust comes first. That's what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. I'll give you a reference. You can refer to Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, shloka number 62 and 63. That gives how the vices arise. Both are mentioned, virtues and vices. Both are mentioned in the Gita. You can read it. Okay. Thank you for your good question.
We have Mohini Murthy Mataji who has raised her hands. So you can unmute yourself, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Again, a very beautiful description of the avatars. And like every session of yours, even, I listened to your Thursday sessions on, there was a session on why should we donate? Daan kyun karna chahiye? So I just wanted to let you know that the way you broke it up and explained everything is just so beautiful. You just took us to another world, Prabhuji. So beautifully explained. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Please pray for me that I also go to the next world. I don't remain here.
No, Prabhuji, you have to pray for us.
We can pray for each other.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There is one clarification, Haripriya Mataji. In the Varaha picture, it is shown that Varahadev is holding earth only. Now we need to understand that he actually holds the Bhumandala, but because there will be a lot of clash in the ideology, because scientific understanding of earth, the Vedic understanding is different. So for they are represent, but they don't exactly that represent the Bhuloka is represented like that. It's not exactly in the shape of a sphere. It's in the shape of a plate. It's a plate-like structure. Bhumandala. That's what he holds. If you see, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he became Varaha Avatar, he lifted a bowl. He lifted a bowl in Shiva Sangam. Here, you said that the whole Bhumandala is in the water. No, Bhumandala is floating on water. It's a plate. They are the leaf of that lotus. Saw that? Suppose the entire universe is a lotus. This is a leaf. A lotus also has leaf, right? So Bhumandala is the leaf. It's floating on top. In Pralay Kal, water goes on top of Bhumandala. And in these two cases where Vara had to appear, Bhumandala had slipped and gone down. Fell down. Is it okay? All right. I think we are good. We're done.
Okay, I think Prabhu, we should be good. Thank you so much for taking the time out and giving us your association. It's always so nice to have your association here, and we hope that we are able to have more and more of your association in the new year.
Right.
I think someone just posted in the chat.
Prabhuji, please again, topic, why we donate this topic already missed because some problem. Okay. I'll talk to the Hare Krishna TV. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I answered that too.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Sarva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.